Welcome to InFocus Town Talk for the town of Plymouth for October 2021. I'm Donna Rodriguez, and today I am joined by our town manager, Melissa Arrighi. Melissa, thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
There's always so much to talk about for the town of Plymouth, and you actually have had a big announcement over the last month that we'd love to start off by sharing with our audience. So can you tell us a little more?
Yes, so I will be leaving and I know I want to make more of it than it is. This was amicable with the select board. I felt it was time. I approached them. It's been, it's not just post-COVID. There's been so many other things, sort of a change in philosophy, a change in style a little bit with the executive branch and me, and I've been here 17 years. So this is no hard feelings, no ill will, no hidden drama about this. I'll be retiring next July. I'm excited about it. I'm putting a little pressure on my husband to do the same. We'll see how that works out. But I don't want any resident out that I am going to sit on my heels over this last 10 months. I have a list of things that I want to accomplish. I will, as always, be here for for the staff, for what needs to be done, for the challenges that they run into. And in addition to that, there are pet projects that I would like to see either way through or to make sure that they are in a solid position to move forward when I leave. So I'm looking forward to these last 11 months. You're not going to see me missing in action. I do want to use up some of my vacation time, but I assured the select board that I will be available to work throughout those vacation days. I don't have an issue doing that at all. Plymouth has been wonderful to me, and I have adored working here.
And it's amazing to think it's been 17 years, because it's gone by so fast.
I'll tell you what, you're not supposed to dwell on, pictures of yourself, but I feel like in many ways, I look back at those pictures, even the ones from PACTV from all those years ago at the old studio, and I look so different, but nothing can be done about that.
It's part of aging gracefully for all of us, and gaining more experience as you have and have offered to the town. So thank you for your service and everything you've been doing and will continue to do.
And if people are interested in seeing the projects and some of the items that I've listed that I'd like to accomplish in my last year, I'm always trying to encourage people to take a look at the town manager's reports that I do weekly, because I really try and put as much information in there as possible. And if you're curious about what exactly a town manager does, you can find it in those reports. So I was able to list there, I don't know, I think there's about 7 or 8 things that I'd like to accomplish, like I said, over the next few months.
And one of the big things that's coming up that you are clearly a part of is redistricting. And for people who haven't been following that yet, can you talk a little bit about the reason for redistricting, the benefits, and where things are right now in the process?
So redistricting is done after the census was completed, the data was received, and it's the process of dividing the town evenly. It doesn't impact town services or schools, but it is something that needs to be done every so often as you look at your population, because you want each precinct to be somewhat equal when it comes to the population itself. And you've seen so much in the town of Plymouth that I don't think anyone is surprised to hear that we will need to add 2 more precincts as part of the redistricting process. So instead of having 15 precincts, the town of Plymouth, it looks like we will have 17 precincts. And I say that it looks like because this still requires a select board vote. Now, the board had some concerns at their last meeting when we were asking them to vote the new mapping, and we've the 2 people that have been instrumental in this process and lead is town clerk Pearl Sears, and we actually were able to bring back former town clerk Lawrence Pizer because of his vast experience with this in the past. So the board just wanted a little bit more public input. I think people, understandably so, don't like when their polling location changes. And we want to make it as convenient as possible for people to get out and vote. I mean, there's nothing better than a great voter turnout. And we all believe in that. So I think there are some tweaks that we can make to that mapping. And I look forward to next or during this whole month, seeing what we're able to come up with collectively with some of the residents that are engaged, as well as bringing that back to the select board, because we would like to submit something to the state before the end of October.
And those are the deadlines for the state, correct? That it needs to be in by October 30th?
It does, but when you think about select board meetings and you listen to the wisdom of Representative Muratori, we do not want Plymouth to wait till that very last minute.
Makes perfect sense. And moving forward to just how Plymouth has been handling government, especially over the last year and a half, which has been challenging with representative town meeting. I'd like to talk a little bit about town meeting because this is a big month for Plymouth, clearly. And you really, the entire town has taken a unique approach and I think has been really successful in continuing. So can you talk a little bit about how you've taken representative town meeting to a virtual environment so that everybody can still participate and watch town meeting?
So government is slow to change. And we were very nervous as we were listening to Moderator Trifletti really push us, challenge us, set expectations for all of us to go to a remote meeting that would be full participation, all remote, so that it would be safer for the participants, the town meeting members, as well as staff. It was scary. I mean, I have to give Moderator Trifletti a ton of credit. He really did. He has a way about getting us all together and saying, there are ways to find a solution for this, and no isn't an option. So we'll push back at first, but I think that Plymouth really has stepped up. The town meeting members, Nicole Manfredi, who I consider really to be maybe not a technology guru. I don't know if she would want to be thought of like that, but her ability to train anybody at any skill level to participate and be able to vote remotely was wonderful. As well as OTI, who we work with on our electronic voting. All these pieces came together and we've done it successfully now. I think this will be our third town meeting, and I think people are looking forward to it. And I have to tell you, as town manager, I had some bragging rights to the other town administrators and managers in the community to say that we had 134 of our 135 town meeting members present and voting at the meeting. Yeah, you have to be proud of that.
And wasn't that a record for the number of people who were able to participate?
It was a record for me in my 17 years here.
So it really has been impressive to watch how everybody is pulled together and finding ways to work to pull together everything from what normally would be in-person presentations to make them virtual, finding ways to help to support people who might not naturally have tech skills to be able to zoom into meetings and make it all live and available for folks. I've enjoyed being a part of it, and I know PACTV has enjoyed being a part of it, to push all of us to a new level of being able to make government available to everybody. So leading into
I like your positive attitude, because I think we put a ton of pressure on PACTV. When you talk about pulling off everybody having an individual role to have a successful virtual town meeting, a lot of that burden was placed on you.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're all work together. So the schedule right now, and we're recording this at the very beginning of the month of October, but the schedule is there'll be a presentation night October 4th starting at 6 p.m. There's going to be the preview, and the presentation night gives people the opportunity to really present all of the information behind the different warrant articles, so that town meeting members are able to hear directly from whether it be folks in the community who are bringing things forward or from different departments to have a better understanding of what is behind each request. Is that correct?
That is, in working with PACTV, many of the different, I like to call them people that sponsor different articles, whether that's a department, a citizen, the select board. We all try to do individual videos working with PACTV so that you'll be, as a meeting member or a member of the public, you can watch different videos learn about what we're trying to accomplish in the article and why we're asking for a yes to vote, and then reach out. You'll know who to reach out to directly if you have some more in-depth questions about it.
Which gives folks the opportunity in advance really to prepare for the date of town meeting. So they have almost 2 weeks to be able to prepare and to ask questions. And then there's a preview night, October 7th, which starts at 6 p.m. And the preview night really is to review everything. And Steve Trifletti, town moderator, will be hosting that to prepare everybody for town meeting. And then town meeting is Saturday, October 16th, starting at 7 a.m. All of those are going to be available on the PACTV channels, Comcast and Verizon, as well as pactv.org/live. Will it also be available on the town website?
Yes, and you're giving me an opportunity to showcase the report and recommendation book. This is put out by the Finance Department. This shows all the votes on the articles by our Advisory and Finance Committee members. And that is a group that really into each article very closely, as well as the votes of the select board on these articles. It has all the backup documentation, so you can read about it. And it is available online on the town's website. And we have some great articles for town meeting, but I happen to be a town meeting fan.
Are there any one or two key things you want to touch on that's going to be coming up in town meeting for people to take a look at, or just point them in general to watch everything, because there's a lot coming up this season?
So I find it really interesting if they take a look at Article 4s. Article 4s are services or items that we need to buy or projects that we don't think should wait until the spring for a variety of reasons. I mean, back in the day, we used to do these kind of capital requests once a year, but we're just too big for that now. So twice a year really worked. So I find Article 4 interesting. In addition, I really want to see the town's reaction to the zoning article. This zoning article, it's article number 29, and it would provide for accessory dwelling units. And in the simplest terms, that just means that with a special permit, homeowners will be able to put an accessory dwelling house, whether that's almost like an in-law apartment is how I think of it. And I'm curious to see if people have a good debate about that.
And that's coming from the planning board, is that correct?
I believe that was sponsored by the planning board.
And there definitely, it's going to be a very vibrant town meeting, so there's a lot for people to have an opportunity to look at in advance of town meeting, so they can start debate and also be able to share their opinions with their representative town meeting members before the 16th of October. Now, Melissa, is there anything else? There's so much we've covered already in a short period of time. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about what's going to be happening this month, events, things people should put on their calendar to pay attention to?
So yes, I would love to do that. And I think there are two dates that you should put on your calendar because they are things that we don't think about as homeowners. And the first one is there's a Hazardous Waste Day. We do this each year. It's sponsored by the South Shore Recycling Cooperative in conjunction with our Department of Marine and Environmental Affairs. And it's that time when you clean out your shed, your garage, wherever you may have some of this material that we really need to dispose of properly. So please take a look at the town's website so that you can see what you properly get rid of, how you do that, what the costs are, and what the date is. For Plymouth is October 30th. I don't have the times on me right now, but that's available on the web. And then there's another important date, and that's another one I don't think people think about very much, and that's getting rid of all your kind of like electronic. And there is a flyer available with a list. It's an electronic recycling event. It's on November 13th, 2021. So I guess you asked me for October dates, and I'm promoting this for November, but it's important, and it's stereos and cell phones and laptops and printers and air conditioners and microwaves. So let's all pitch in together, get rid of this kind of material in the proper way. And this is an awesome opportunity to do that.
So clearly it's a very busy month. Fall is always, everybody seems to just kick back in to all of the work after hopefully summer in the sun. So thank you so much for joining us today, Melissa. We really appreciate your time and everything that's going on in the town of Plymouth, and we'll look forward to seeing you next month. So for you and for everybody
Great,
watching,
take care.
thank you. For everybody watching, thank you for joining us for InFocus Town Talk for the town of Plymouth.